Alrighty, welcome back, folks. I haven't done this in a little bit. I've been kind of behind on everything, so I'm gonna do better this year with the whole YouTube. So hopefully, I can be better at this year. Just didn't have a lot of time, and I lost focus. But we're gonna go over the college football games with KU and K State. They both had wins last week, and they both dominated their games. Um, so now, and the AP rankings have finally come out for them. So K State only moved up one spot. KU looked like they moved down a couple of spots. Doesn't make a little sense to me, since the way they played pretty good. Um, Overall, we're gonna go over that. We're also gonna go with the talk about the Chiefs' 53-man roster and what it looks like. They've made a few moves here and there. So, first, let's go over to the KU game as the kids Jayhawks played the Linwood Lions. They won that 48-3, dominating in the second quarter with 27 points in that second quarter, not allowing a single score until the fourth quarter with 3 points only allowed, which is the Lions' only points that game. And that was garbage time scoring. So let's be honest, it would have been a bit. This is basically a shutout. So, definitely your top players is Jaden Daniels, who threw for 9 for 15, for 148 yards, one TD, one interception. Uh, Devin Neal also had a amazing game as usual. He is one of the best running backs in the Big 12, if not one of the best running backs in the NCAA football. So he had 8 carries for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he looked pretty good. He's probably going to be up there for one of the best running backs, like I said. Um, some of the starters obviously came out because it was a dominant game, and obviously you don't want to risk your starting players to get injured. Their top receiver was Luke Grimm, who had 6 catches for 111 yards, was the only receiver on the KU team to have over 50 plus yards. The rest of the guys didn't really get there. Closest one would have been Lawrence Arnold, who had 2 catches for 29 yards. But overall, I think the KU is more of a running kind of team. I mean, as the rushing yards that they had was 331 rushing yards between all the guys that were running. So they had let's see, like 8 different guys running the balls that game. So and 199 total passing yards. So overall, really dominant game by KU. Obviously, not a tough opponent, a very easy opponent. Um, so hopefully they'll have a better. They will play a little bit of a tougher opponent, Illinois. I still think they'll win that game no matter what. I don't think Illinois is really that good of a football team either. So KU dominant game, good for them. Um, Overall, good for them. So they will start off 1-0, and they are ranked 22 now. So hopefully they'll win next week and get a better rank next week. So uh, now let's go over to K State as they also won their game in a big time scoring fashion, uh, beating Martin Skyhawks 41-6. As Avery Johnson had a good day, throwing 14 out of 21 of the passes, 153 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and did throw 1 interception. DJ Giddens also had a great day with 13 carries for 124 yards, although didn't really see much of Dylan Edwards, so that was kind of my little disappointment. I wanted to see a little bit more of Dylan Edwards running the ball, but he did get 5 carries for 53 yards, or not 53, 43 yards. I apologize. So I want to see more of him run because he's going to be that next guy for next year. He's going to be basically that starter. So because this is probably DJ Giddens' last year, because he'll probably go pro after this. So uh, your leading receiver, Jace Brown, 5 catches, 71 yards. Really was kind of the same thing of how KU's offense was with their game. Not really a good, not a lot of receivers getting over 50 yards. Like the closest one for K-State was Braden Lofton, who had 2 catches for 29 yards. So, but otherwise he did good. Avery Johnson, for his first game, being like the full-on starter, he looked pretty good. And there's a lot of hype to of this guy. So definitely, all the Big 12 teams out there need to watch out for Avery Johnson, because not only can this man pass that ball, he can run with that ball too if he really wanted to. He did have 3 carries for 37 yards, so an average of 12 yards a carry. That's pretty good for a quarterback. That's kind of how I like the K State and KU. They kind of have like that variety of a quarterback that can pass and run the ball. It's so amazing to watch these guys. I love these kind of quarterbacks. They they kind of remind me of, like a Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, who's another guy. So just these dual threat quarterbacks are pretty good to watch. So K State also had a good defense as well. With Toby, I'm not going to pronounce that last name. It's pretty hard to pronounce. Out of 1.5 sacks as well, with Brendan Mott also having a half of a sack. So they had 2 total sacks in that game. So overall, pretty good game for K State. They look good. I'm very happy of how they played. So next week they will play Tulane, which is a little tougher opponent. Last time we did play Tulane, we did lose that game. I believe that was with Will Howard as the quarterback at that time, who is now at Ohio State. K State does have a lot of a harder schedules. After Tulane, they'll have to beat Arizona. Oklahoma State is also a tough game. We haven't played Colorado, so that could be a tough game for us. West Virginia might be a tough game because it's at West Virginia. Then we do play KU. So, and then from there, Houston, we should be Arizona State. Maybe they it depends on how Arizona State plays. Cincinnati should be, and then Iowa State is also one of those opponents. Like they can be good, they can't be good. It's a coin toss. So otherwise, KU, K State both had great games. KU being ranked 22. K State did get one ranked up. They are ranked 17th, so they're looking pretty good. So now let's go over the Chiefs' final rosters. They've made a lot of moves, especially between when they originally made the roster. So obviously you got your 2 quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, you're not gonna cut that guy. Your backup Carson Wentz. I think is a really good backup. So I think he's really good. And then your running backs are going to be Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Carson Steele at fullback. Carson Steele would be playing fullback, but I think he's more of a running back. He kind of gives me that vibe of a Christian McCaffrey. So we won't see Clyde Edwards-Helaire week 1 tomorrow. He is but he's not feeling well, so it'll be up to Isaiah Pacheco. I think that we just signed Sami P. Ryan, so it will be great to have him at running back right there. So, and then at receivers, we have Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, who we won't see in week 1, but he will not be out too long at the beginning of the season, so he will be back. Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, Sky Moore, McCall Hardman, and the return of Juju Smith-Schuster. Will he play this week? Maybe. I don't think so. If he does, he'll get like a few plays, like 1 or 2. He doesn't expect much to do since, there's a lot of guys. So, as for a returner, who's going to be our returner? It's probably going to be between Sky Moore and McCall Hardman. Most likely, McCall Hardman. Don't be surprised if Xavier Worthy does some of the returns as well. It could be. So, and then tight ends, obviously, you got Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, and Jarrett Wiley. I'm excited for Jarrett Wiley. He did look good in the preseason, and I'm very excited to see how he plays. He probably won't get much playing time with Travis Kelce and Noah Gray being out there. So, and then the guy we got from Dallas for trading, I believe it was a 7th round pick for him, Peyton Hendershot. Uh, Very interesting trade because this was like on the I believe the day before roster cuts. Brett Veach was making moves that night. I believe on that Monday night, and made a couple of trades, and Peyton Hendershot was one of them. Um, it was a very surprise trade. We don't really see Brett Veach do this too often before the regular season, like right before when 53 man roster is cut, like when it's set and done. Uh, we don't see him really do that too much, so it was definitely a big surprise. But Brett Veach does bring a lot of surprises to us, so that's why we trust in Brett Veach. So, and then offensive line, we got Kingsley, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Juwan Taylor. Those are going to be your starters. Mike Colito, Hunter Norzad, Wina Morris, who is potentially going to be battling with Kingsley with the left tackle position. I think they're both good. I think Kingsley's just a little bit better, but honestly, they can go either way. So C.J. Hansen, Ethan Driscoll is also there. So honestly, our offensive line is really great this year. I want to see Juwan Taylor be a little bit better than what he was last year. I didn't feel like Juwan Taylor was the best at right tackle. I think he could have played better. I think the his mental state from everybody coming at him with the false starts, like he's false starting every time, he's going too fast. It, just the mental game kind of got to him, but I think later in that last season he did play a better right tackle. I think this year, if he can prove himself even more, I think he'll be here to stay. So for your defensive tackles, you got Chris Jones, obviously, Derek Nottie, Cheshire Morton, and Mike Pennell. There might be another defensive tackle that we did pick up from, I believe, from the Eagles, who might be coming in to be on the team and might get a little bit of playing time. I don't know yet. I haven't heard anything from him yet. I don't remember his name either, but we might see him come up. And then you got your edge rushers, George Karloftis, Mike Dana, Malik Herring, a guy I want to see more of, Felix Andike Uzama, a guy who I know has been good at stopping the run and needs some more playing time. We This is another guy that we brought in. I believe it was that same Monday night. Brett Veach was making trades. We got from the Arizona Cardinals Cameron Thomas, he's really good as well. I think our defensive line is really amazing, and I would not be surprised to see a lot of sacks this year. So, linebackers, you got obviously Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil. No Willie Gay this year. Obviously, he got let go. We didn't re-sign him, so sad to see him go. But we do have also Leo Chenal. He's been good when he's been playing. So, and he's addicted to hitting people. Uh, Jack Corain and Cam Jones as well. So those two guys usually play on special teams, and they're really good at that. So moving on to our cornerbacks, we got Trent McDuffie, Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, the usual. Hopefully we'll see some Najee Johnsons this year. Probably won't see him too much. We also got Nick Jones and Chris Ronald Wallace as our corners, but obviously I'm hoping to see a lot more Najee Johnson this year. He's definitely more of he's that dual threat corner slash safety. He can play that nickel position pretty well. Just for safety, Justin Reed, Brian Cook, Chamari Connor, Jaden Hicks. I love these. I'm excited for the one guy I'm excited for out of all the safety, Jaden Hicks. This guy I'm very excited for. He had a great preseason, was blocking every guy that came up to him, every wide receiver. He was defending them all. And obviously, your special teams, your kicker, Harrison Bucker, your punter, Matt Razai, and your long snapper, James Winchester. Which, funny enough, our backup long snapper is Noah Gray. Did not see that coming when they had the preseason Lions game. So Your backup long snapper is Noah Gray. And you know what? He did a good job, honestly. Some of these guys I'm very excited for. Carson Steele, I'm hoping he gets some playing time because that man, watching him play in the preseason, oh my goodness. Him and Isaiah Pacheco are going to go off this year, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this team. Um, it all depends on how we do tomorrow. Tomorrow we do play the first game in the NFL. We're gonna play playing the Baltimore Ravens. We'll get to see that wonderful banner, that the wonderful 58 banner, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Now, can the Kansas City Chiefs make it back to back to back? I don't know. It's gonna be a tough road for them. Really is. I mean, it was a tough road last year, and every team we proved to every team that we can do it, even with receivers that can't even catch. Patrick Mahomes can do it all. The defense, if the defense can play how they played last year without someone like the key stars that we lost this offseason, and be a top 5 defense or even a top 10 defense, I think we can be good. We did lose L'Jarius Sneed. Big sad. He definitely wanted to stay in Kansas City, but couldn't get a deal done with him. But Brett Veach has proven that we don't need star players to win football games. We just need players who can play. So it's gonna be sad. No Willie Gay. There's a lot. There's a lot that has to be done this year for the Chiefs to a dominating season. So, will I think the offense be better than it was from last season? Yes, 100%. There's absolutely no way Patrick Mahomes has a terrible year this year than he did from last year. And even if he does, it's still going to be a little bit better than what he had last year. Most of those interceptions were from drops, like the one from week 1 from last year, where KT didn't catch the ball and it got picked off by Brian Branch for a pick 6 and basically lost us the game. So this year, I'm confident enough we'll have receivers who can catch. So I think overall my prediction is going to be the Chiefs are going to finish 12-4. Here's my prediction. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm going to try to be more on top of this, a lot more, so hopefully I can do it. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been awesome.